up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Earl Ramey Racing Engines, RK Motorsports Consulting with our buddy Randy Keene, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. What's up? I'm David.
What's up, y'all? I'm Sterling.
Woo, woo, woo. Welcome back. Welcome back. Another week.
Yes, sir.
Do.
All the pumpkin spice stuff is everywhere.
I'll try to avoid that.
It's hard to, bro. It's hard to do nowadays. It's everywhere. It's all everything. Donuts, coffee.
You can go basic white girl, you know. Pumpkin
Everything.
Spice, everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I guess we have to because we always talk about weather. So, but it doesn't feel like fall again, man.
It will by the end of the week.
Oh, really?
Or, well, it probably will a little more tomorrow. Yeah, by the end of the week, highs mid-60s.
Sweet.
So, day was what, low 80s?
Yeah, it was hot.
We'll have about a 20-degree turn by the end of the week.
Good.
I think it's supposed to, which I think tomorrow's only mid-70s, so.
That'd be nice. You get some fire weather.
Yeah, we getting there. Speaking of landing last night, went to Pastor Derek's house, the youth pastor. Went to his house, and they hung out by a fire and cooked hot dogs and stuff outside of their house last night. So I went over there and hung out for a little while later. I mean, a very short while.
Hey, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. We had us a little fire last night, too. We carved pumpkins, and man, that was that's a nasty thing, you know?
Yes. I saw one the other day. I liked how he did it. They did it with a, I don't know how they got all the inside out. He might have did this, too, but regardless, they carved a pumpkin with a pressure washer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That would be kind of hard to keep lines straight.
I think, now, looking at it, I think the video I saw, dude kind of pre-cut it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then done it because everything fell out very perfectly.
Yeah.
Mine
did not
good
fall out.
points on it. So
I had stuff falling that wasn't supposed to be falling, so I did not do too well. But it was fun nonetheless. It was definitely a good time. And the little things you can buy that's got little things you stick on there and you trace them out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those are very difficult. I didn't do one of those. I kind of just freelance.
Do some freestyle.
Yeah. And but man, that was some difficult looking stuff.
They some people can get real intricate with them.
Yeah.
I'm lucky if it gets 3 teeth. If I did one.
Yeah.
That's about as much patience I have for that.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I can't do that. I'm like Jackson was with his pumpkin. Apparently, he painted it blue. Just blue.
100% blue.
I think I saw some other colors under it, like he was gonna start.
Yeah,
but then it was mostly just I like blue.
Never mind. I'm just gonna do blue. Yeah, that's good, though, man. So we did that yesterday with church. It was good, and went to the state fair in Columbia Saturday.
How that was?
It was very good, really. It was very crowded, but they had a lot going on. The barn area, the petting zoo, and the whole deal, the pig racing, and the camels, and the ponies, and the goats, and all that. It was pretty neat, checking all that out. But yeah, we had a lot going on. A lot of the kiddos loved it, being able to get out there and ride some rides. And but the later it got, man, the busier and busier and busier.
Oh yeah,
we waited forever to ride one ride, like an adult ride or whatever. And yeah, so it was a long. But I swear there was more fair food than I've ever seen ever.
The last time we went a couple years ago, they had this whole. It was like a like a food court area set up at the state fair. I mean, like big old area of nothing but the food trailers.
Well, that was pretty much the whole entire fair was the food court then, because it was everywhere. Man, they were selling some food, bro.
Hey, well, see, last year, I guess that's where they got all this stuff from, because last year they didn't necessarily have a fair, but they had to drive through and they had all the food stuff out there.
Right.
And so I guess like everybody was like, "Oh, we sold good out there last year. Let's go again." Well,
every single one I saw was full.
You get no fried Snickers or
No, but we
like that?
did get, because it was, 95 degrees in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we did get
Good fall, October
Yeah,
weather.
it's the first time I've ever been to the fair and got ice cream. But
I've done that.
they had a chocolate-covered cheesecake. And you talking about good, Bo?
Oh, yeah, I bet that was.
Oh, goodness gracious. It was very, very good.
I bet that was.
Both show. So, yeah, anybody that has the opportunity to get chocolate-covered cheesecake, go get it.
That sounds good.
Go get
It
it.
was like chocolate, like an ice cream cone, chocolate covered.
It's like
there was a piece
shell.
of cheesecake, and then they put the chocolate
Well, the
dip.
it's like a slice of cheesecake on a stick. And then they
Is
dip
everything on a stick at a fair?
everything. Everything. Along with a 3-foot hot dog, corn dog. That's something that was huge, bro.
Eat on that my whole meal, one corn dog.
it's huge. But they take the cheesecake, a slice of cheesecake on a stick, and then they dip it in. It's like I guess it hardens. The chocolate hardens.
Yeah. Kind of like ice cream cone.
Yeah,
Dipped ice cream cone.
So they dip it down in that, and you just bite that joker off and go to town, man. Put some sprinkles on that thing or whatever you want.
Sweet.
It was good.
Sweet. It's like
Anyway.
it's like cream-filled chocolate, but it's cheesecake.
Yes. Much better than cream filled chocolate.
No, can't be.
I don't do cream filled stuff too much.
I be liking them donuts we had like at church last week.
Yeah. Yeah, not me. But we did go Friday night. We went down, Mary Stephen and I went and ate sushi at King Kong Sushi. You ever been there?
No.
You need to go try out King Kong Sushi. I think that'd be your whole. You would love that
I probably would.
because they got.
I love some sushis.
They probably had 80 different sushi rolls.
Just glad Sterling's venturing out. On the,
Dude,
on the sushi.
they were. And the cool thing about it is you know it told you everything that was in it, and a lot of them didn't have cucumbers, and I don't like cucumbers, so we found all the ones that didn't have
Un-American.
cucumbers. I know, but. We found all those, and I can't remember all the names of them. There was like a crazy roll, a mahi roll. It was awesome.
See?
Anyhow, we got like 4 different ones, and then but what brought me to that was we for appetizers they had like roast beef rolls.
That's weird.
Well, they were cream filled, and I was none too happy about it. But I
never had no roast beef sushi.
well, that wasn't really sushi, but it kind of looked like it, I guess. But yeah, it was kind of different. That was different. I wasn't too good on that.
Well, I tried.
I did try it, and I ate most of them because I just felt bad leaving sitting there.
Yeah, yeah, that's why.
But yeah, we got that, and it was really good. It was really, really good. Couldn't finish them all, of course.
Of course.
They're filling, man.
The rice on it is gets you full quick.
But in like 30 minutes, I was hungry again.
Yeah. A good old sticky rice is like sticks to you real quick, and then you're hungry.
It's gone. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
And it ain't none too cheap either.
No, which really is surprising.
Which I don't know how. I mean, I've never been to just a sushi.
Yeah,
place.
I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But it was a cool place though. It was in Broadway at the beach, so you could sit on the back deck and you got the water right there and all. So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. You have to go check it out. Anybody going to the beach area, Broadway, go check out King Kong Sushi.
King Kong Sushi. It's
pretty good stuff. They got all kind. They got like hibachi stuff there too.
Yeah. Sweet.
So yeah, it's pretty neat.
But they specialize in the sushis.
Yes.
Nice.
Anyway, how was your weekend?
Pretty calm, I guess. I'm trying to remember what we did Friday night. I don't know if we did much of anything Friday night. Trying to remember.
Must have been a relaxing evening.
Well, I'm assuming so because I don't recall doing much of anything except Friday night. So
Damn.
if we did, my bad. I done forgot. Saturday, got up, went to Bryce's football game, and all right. My in-laws have a Jeep that something happened to it with my sister-in-law driving it the week we went to Atlanta actually to go watch the Braves games when we come back. Stop. I don't know if it's blown a head gasket, blah, 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 something, antifreeze everywhere, all that good stuff. I know it blew a hole in the radiator. Know that for a fact. But there's antifreeze down in the oil too, so something ain't right.
Nah, I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Nah, is it blown a head gasket, cracked the head, something. But anyway, so he decided he wanted to fix it, and I told him I'd help him put a head on it, and we'll see what's going on with it. So last Sunday after church, and we went and ate, and last Sunday went and started on it. We pulled everything off the top of it, valve, and someone got, new cars. It's only like a 2000 Jeep, but wires everywhere that you got to undo, 40 million of, and stuff like that. So anyway, got all that off last week and kind of ran out of day to do it. So plan was this Saturday after we did all that, because we went to the football game, went down to the schoolhouse, went and ate some barbecue. Plan was to go over there, finish getting it all off. Well, I had happened to look. There's a guy somewhere here locally selling a whole motor, for cheaper than what putting a head on it or pretty much anything else, doing any of that, and with less miles on it too. So the guy's out of town on vacation, go figure. So we're supposed to pick the motor up from the guy next Saturday, and we're just going to change the whole motor out in it.
Sweet.
Which is actually easier
than
pulling the head off.
Yes.
So that was, then we just kind of sat around there Saturday for a while, went home, and that was really it. Just kind of chilled out, I watched a little bit of the Xfinity race and stuff there, and then Saturday night I flipped back and forth between Alltech, Sonoya, all of them, and a lot of racing going on. And Sunday, obviously, like I said, went to church, went and played some guitar at both services there. Could you hear any difference in the guitar this week, or no? Couldn't really hear it.
Yeah, I could hear you more. Yeah.
I had a chorus pedal on there this week.
Oh, okay.
Trying to just
make a little new noise.
Sweet.
I could tell a little different.
I couldn't hear it up on stage.
Yes, I mainly just hear him singing.
Yeah.
But I can hear it a little bit.
I was just wondering. I couldn't hear it up on stage.
Yeah.
I'm talking about I need some in-ears in there so I can hear this thing.
You can get you some in there.
No, they got to set it up there, and I hadn't brought no earbuds.
I got you.
Do it. I just go with it. I hear piano. That's all I hear, because it's right beside me.
Now everybody can hear the piano.
It's right beside me, and I was just like, somebody asks me, "What are you playing?" I don't even know. I don't know if it's right. I'm just going, all I hear is piano.
Yeah, they can't tell if I mess up.
Nah, I'm good. So, but anyway, so played that. Went and ate it. Where'd we go? Tell you what Kayla did yesterday. It was kind of funny. She said, "Let's go get something to eat after we left church." I said, "All right, where we go?" She started thinking, and she said, "Let's go to Longhorn." I said, "Okay, sounds good." I said, "Call them real quick, see if they got a, if we can go ahead and sign in. A lot of these places now you can call in.
Yeah, call ahead seating.
Call ahead seating, because they don't want you sitting around each other, which has been the one positive thing about COVID, I guess.
Yes.
is you can do this now, and I kind of like it. I don't have to sit there the whole time.
Yeah.
I call, and they tell me 20 minutes. I got time to get from the house to there and walk in and sit down. It's
exactly.
Perfect.
Nice things.
So anyway, so she calls and everything. And honestly, when she said that, our local Longhorn and Texas Roadhouse are like right across the street from each other.
Yes.
So, I was just like, I was going that way, and then I kind of lost track. I was like, did she say Longhorn or Texas Roadhouse? So I called her real quick, reason being is because I had to be there early to play guitar, so she came to second service and drove separate. So I called her real quick. I said, "Did you say Longhorn, Texas Roadhouse?" Longhorn, she said, "But crap, I'm at Texas Roadhouse." I said, "Well, which one did you call?" "I called Longhorn." And we're like almost there at this point. And then she's like, "But I really want Texas Roadhouse." I'm like, "Yeah, but we're about at seating time at Longhorn."
Right.
So she's like, "Let's just go to Longhorn then." I'm like, they essentially got the same food.
Pretty much same stuff.
is steak.
There it is. Steak and potatoes.
And I had some steak, potatoes, lobster tail.
Ooh.
Splurge. I got the
Good
filet
stuff.
with lobster tail.
Got to splurge every now and then.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. So, but anyway, so did that, ate. Kayla was going to a Judgment House thing. Landon was going, like I said, to Pastor Derek's house. I was going to go home, watch some of the race, work on some video stuff, which I didn't get to work on the video stuff because I got some issues with the program right now. So, working wonderfully. Well, what happened is I had to change. Well, I got a new computer. And the program that we got is not exactly cheap. I mean, it ain't bad, but it ain't cheap. I've only had that program, not even a year, I think.
Yeah, it ain't been long.
And, well, being that I got a new computer, it's like, oh, your activation code's out of date. You're going to have to repurchase this.
What?
Yeah, so I'm trying to get in touch with the people because that computer basically, it didn't quit, but it basically quit. I don't want to use it anymore for that.
Right.
So I'm trying to see if I can transfer that one to the new one. But I tried to get them last night, and I could never get them. So
maybe they'll help you out.
I'm going to have to sit down one afternoon and see if we can do that. If not, have to buy the program again, which I don't think it's too bad. Like $75. But
hey, if you can save $75,
I ain't kidding.
It's well worth it.
Yeah, because I'm like really backed up on video.
Yeah, you got a lot of videos.
Yeah, I think I got some from, let's see. No, I got some from Willie Milliken, Michael Butler, Michael Brown, Banjo Duke. I'm a little backed up.
Bunches.
So,
We'll get there.
Which I can't use it anyway. Well, I mean, we can't take no video because I think next thing I'll probably be going to will be the World Finals, and we can't do video there anyway. So
right.
So I got a few weeks. I still want to get them out though because the races are getting old. I mean, it's always cool regardless of what race it is to
go back. That's cool.
Go back and check it out and all that stuff. So, but anyway,
well, I want to say congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
I saw you was congratulating them yesterday wearing your Brave shirt to church.
I did. I wore my Brave shirt to church, man. I had to represent a little bit. Hey, man, it's been since 1999 they've been to the World Series, dude. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, we'll be rooting them on, man. They're playing Houston starting tomorrow night.
Is that who got the other side? Houston?
Yeah. American League's Houston Astros. So
they at Atlanta first or
no, they're in Houston first. I think 2 games at Houston, then a day off, then I think 3 games in Atlanta, and then if need be, they go back to Houston for the final 2. Best of it's 7-game set, so I think you got to win 4, of course, yeah.
So technically, Houston has the advantage.
They're the higher seed.
Okay.
So technically, yes, they are, yeah.
Have they played each other all year?
No, I don't think they have that. No. They don't really play many American League teams, but
I didn't think so. I remember they used to years ago to kind of play whoever, but I knew now is kind of
right.
One side play one side, and
for the most part. I'm not sure really how many games they played during the year with the other league, but nonetheless. But the Braves are hot right now, so let's hope they can continue their streak and go tear these boys up. We're gonna be sure trying to pull for them.
They only lost 1 game in that series.
I think so.
Yeah. I think it was like
or maybe no. I think they lost 2.
Was it 2? Okay. So I know somebody was like, I saw somebody on Facebook getting all mad because they lost the game. I'm like, dude, you can't start your best players ever pitching wise. I'm like, you gotta give them a break in the night, so they're probably gonna lose, and then your good pitching comes back, and
well, that's what's cool about a 7-game series because if you have an off night or whatever, you still got a chance.
Got a chance.
So. We'll see what happens, man. We're gonna be like I said, we're gonna be pulling for them hard. So
that brings up topic. I will go ahead and bring that up. I mean, we won't get into all of it right now, but okay. Baseball has a 7-game series to determine champion. Racing has typically had 36 or 4, whatever it was, weeks to determine champion. Then we changed to the chase/playoff style. Now we have one. Well, at one point in time, it was 10 races to determine champion.
You're right.
Now they've changed it to the 1 race to determine champion.
Don't like it. Still don't like it.
I'm still not a fan of me either. I'm not a fan of the
There's too many
1 race.
There's too many.
I'm okay with the
simple,
3 race.
Yeah, 3 race would be fine. I mean, if it would be, Larson probably would have already won by now.
Sure.
And that's kind of what.
But I'm okay with that too.
Well, I mean, whoever. You know? I mean, the best of 3, I think should. I'm fine with that because if you go win 2 races, just say, and say the last race, any little thing could happen. Which we've said this before. Any little thing could happen.
Oh yeah.
And they finish 20th, but your average finish could be better than.
Well, kind of like Carl Edwards the other year.
Yeah.
He got took out by Joey Logano.
Right.
His last year.
Yeah, Homestead,
Yeah, I don't know if he still could have. I don't know what that would have been. I haven't looked at that forever.
Yeah, there's no telling. But it's just, I don't know. There's too many what ifs that could happen. Well, like Blaney yesterday. I mean, say that was the last race of the year. Blaney. I mean, not out of anybody not out of any. I mean, it wasn't his fault. I'm not going to necessarily say that it was.
I mean, it was a racing accident.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just like Austin Dillon got loose, probably arrow loose up under him, and he washed up.
Yeah.
And he put him in the fence. Something that simple. Nothing out of his own. I mean,
yeah,
Blaney didn't do anything there, but gone, done. Your whole season right there.
Because I mean, he's been. We've talked about it on here. He's been consistent. I mean, he's been there. I mean, he hadn't won a whole bunch of races. He did win 2 in a row.
Right.
But he hadn't won a whole bunch of races. But he's been right there, top 10s,
right,
every week almost, and that has got him to where he is. Fortunately, because of what he does have, he is only 1 point out.
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah,
it's not much at all. It's really, really tight.
Top 2 are pretty much clinched.
Yeah, I don't.
Top 3 almost.
I think
Kyle is going. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I think Chase is like 30.
Chase is 34 points to the good.
Yeah, so I mean,
he's got to
shield.
No matter what he does in the. I saw Bob Pockers put it up today, or yesterday, last night. So I don't remember. But anyway, as long as Chase finishes 15th, I think it was. No matter what he does in stages, as long as he finishes 15th or better, he's locked.
Sweet.
Denny was, or his might have been 12th or, no, his was 15th or better. Denny's was 12th or better.
Okay, probably because of all the stage,
right?
The playoff points and stuff,
right,
helping him.
And then the other ones, I think it said it all depended on stage stuff. They'd have to do really good in stage.
Like it's down to whether you get one stage point. You finish 10th in a stage and that's gonna put Blaney in and Kyle Busch out. Just that one. So
from 4th to what was it 4th, 5th, 6th, I think 7th too.
They're all really tight.
I think Joey Logano was
way out.
Good bit out, yeah.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski, he's pretty close.
He was way down because he was 2 laps down.
Right.
And managed to come back yesterday. And I don't remember if he finished on the lead lap. He might have finished 1 lap down, but he was on like 18th at one point in time. So he was he come back up and has put himself back in contention to be right there for that spot. So coming up to Martinsville there, going to be interesting.
Yeah. Faux show.
Always is.
It is. But Chase Elliott's really good there. Martin Truex is really good there.
Denny Hamlin's good there.
Hamlin's really good there. Kyle Larson, I think he finished 5th earlier in the year, but that's not his strong suit. We talked about that before.
That's why he wanted to win on a 1.5 miles.
Right.
There.
All that heavy braking stuff ain't really his thing, which is weird because he's so good on road courses. So maybe it's improving that.
Yeah. I got a good feeling he's going to be right there this week.
Probably so. But there again, kind of going back to the single deal, I mean, just say like you say. I mean, maybe Phoenix ain't your track.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's why another reason I think it should move around every year. I don't think it should be it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have it a single race, it needs to be a different track every year.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
But
I mean, if you could do like a 4-race thing and have a mile and a half, have a road course, have a short track, have a whatever intermediate, whatever.
Okay, put on dirt myself.
Just have 4 right there, and the best average finisher of the.
Yep. Then your best driver wins.
That's the way I look at it. But anyway,
I say 3-3. What was it? It's 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, because there's one last. There's 10.
Okay.
10 races.
So I say 3, 3, and 4.
Right. Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. I agree.
That's my thoughts. So
I agree.
But we'll have more to talk about that here in just a little while. We'll get down to nitty gritty with all that. But we got a guest on here tonight, so let's go to the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, on the phone now. I say that every time. Ladies and gentlemen, on the phone now. I need to come up with a better phrase. but anyway, our buddy AJ Miller's on here. AJ, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
I don't know. Hanging out here and doing a little podcasting,
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me on tonight. I'm enjoying the a little bit cooler weather up in New York myself. I'm sure you guys are enjoying the little bit warmer weather down south there.
Well, we were just talking about weather down here, actually. Me and Sterling pick around because I feel like we have a weather podcast because, like, every time we get on here, we talk about weather for some reason. It's kind of the universal thing, I think.
The common thing between everybody, And but yeah, it's been a little bit cooler up here. So for all the weather people, it's a little cooler up here in New York this time.
For sure. What you looking like up there today?
Yeah, it's looking a little bit like 50 degrees starting out, So it's been pretty good. And it was sunny most of the day, a little bit of a breeze. So for me, I like that. I'm a big guy, like big cooler weather kind of guy, I don't like the warm weather,
I hear you there. So you're ready for the snow and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I like when it snows, I like to break out the snowmobile and get up on the snowmobile and get riding. For us, that's kind of like riding a Harley. Some of the people down south, they don't see snow ever, so they always have a Harley or whatever they ride, or 4-wheeler or whatever they like to do. For me, it's we get on the snowmobiles and we take off all winter and catch our thirst for speed.
There you go.
Well,
there you go. Yeah, that's me and Sterling. We got the Harley, so
yeah.
Because it was what did we say? It was about 80 degrees here today.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's quite warm still.
Yeah, but that's a little warm for me. I prefer, like I said, I like to prefer it a little bit cooler, and when it is snowy, it's nice to get out in the outdoors and ride the snowmobile and stuff. We don't get to do that all year with our busy schedule of racing and all that, so.
There you go. We're just glad we got away from 90 because I think there was like one day last week. It was like 89 degrees here one day. So we're just glad we got away from that. So we're going to have to go up that way and find some snow. I don't know. Last time me and Sterling went and found snow, it wasn't good. We were up in Ohio and found like 24 inches in one night. It was
Oh, wow.
rough.
Yeah. We've been up snowmobiling in Tug Hill, which is a pretty good area for snowmobiles up in our area. And that place, if you go up there with a snowmobile, you can go there and it'll be 2 inches on the ground when you get there. And when you leave, there's 3 feet.
Wow.
And we experienced that one time, and it's nearly impossible to see the road when you're driving out of the place. So it's quite hairy when you're driving out. Luckily, I'm a race car driver, so I kind of don't take the driving part, to where it scares me. I just enjoy it, sliding around and stuff. But some people call me nuts, but whatever.
Nah, that's all of us. If we ever got him behind the wheel of a race car, we're all nuts. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, AJ, again, man, we appreciate you coming on with us. But we
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. We want to kind of let you introduce yourself on here. For our fans that are, us down south folk, we don't see much of your the center steer modifieds, as they'll call them down here sometimes. Normally that's just a typical modified for you guys up there. So I like to give y'all a chance to kind of introduce yourself to our fans, that way if they haven't heard of you by chance. So if you can, man, kind of introduce yourself, and then I want to go back and kind of get your history in racing.
Okay, yeah. So I'll start. I'm AJ Miller, drive the 14 AJ dirt car sportsman in the Northeast. I call them the Northeast modifieds. Some people call them center steer, like you said. But I drive. We race all over the Northeast. My home track's Fulton, New York, Fulton Speedway, and we race there every Saturday night. I also run Friday nights at the Utica Rome Speedway, not too far from there. I'm based out of Fultonville, New York, right near the Fonda Speedway, so that's for some people that know the area a little bit. But for me, we travel a lot, and I run a dirt car sportsman series all over. Like I said, I like to travel, so we get to hit a lot of tracks in the Northeast, from New York, Pennsylvania, all the way up to the northern border, right up by Canada, 20 minutes away. So we run a lot of the tracks in that area, central New York, and all that stuff. But we've been doing good. I run. We finished fourth in points at Fulton this year and stuff. So for me, that's good. We get about 65 guys competing for the points title up there.
Wow.
So that's pretty tough field. And then sixth at Utica, which it is okay. We were consistent. That's all I was looking for. But I've been fortunate enough to run the sportsman a lot. And then we also have a 358 modified motor in one of our cars. And we have a 3-car team, if I didn't mention that before. But our third car, we do run a 358 modified, which for the people that don't know, the sportsman that I normally run is a 602 crate motor, kind of like what your crate late models run, the 602, 604 package. Oh, yeah. We don't get to run 604, unfortunately. I wish they'd change it. I kind of want a little bit more power myself, but for affordability's sake, they let us run the 602. And but the 358 modified is like it is. It's a 358 cubic inch motor, Chevy, built by Kevlar. That's LJL Kevlar up in Northeast. They're the best at building engines from my point of view. But that's the next step up between that and then the big block. We have the big block package up here in the Northeast. I have not had the opportunity to run one yet. I would love to. That's like the top tier for us. That's the World of Outlaws,
Oh yeah.
Of big block modified racing for us. So, yeah, every once in a while I get to break out the 358. I'm only allowed a certain amount of races per the rules. You're not allowed to run a 602 and then run a bunch of modified races and just jump back and forth. So I do have to follow some guidelines and some rules, and I'm not allowed to run a lot of races. So I only ran one this year up at the Weedscore Speedway.
I got you.
So, but that's kind of my bio for the year. Kind of a little bit about myself.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And you talk about the rules like that. I kind of like that because like down here, there is no rules on anything like that.
Yeah.
As long as you got a car with a motor that fits that class, run it, have fun.
Yeah. But for me, I touched on that point a little bit, but the rules for me, I feel like Dirt Card gives us the most fair package.
Right.
World Racing Group. I know you guys are familiar with the World of Outlaws late model guys and all that kind of stuff. So for that, I mean, they're professional. They have a professional set of rules, and I like the idea of you don't see the big tier guys that can build, and again, I say for affordability's sake, this is not for driving's sake from my point of view. I'd love to drive against modified racers. Don't get me wrong, because modified racers, they're there for a reason. But for me, for the affordability, a guy that runs a modified can spend $60,000 on a motor. I just feel like if they're putting $50,000 to $60,000 in a motor, what can they do in a car? They're going to put a nice car together, and they're going to outspend a lot of these 602 racers, and that's what the 602 class is more supposed to be. It's supposed to be an affordable class, but I mean, not to say that we can't run really nice equipment and everything, because I've been fortunate enough to run very nice equipment, top of the line, and thankful for that. But I do like that rule, and like you said, it's it's not like the Wild West, if you will.
Exactly. Well, tell me one thing about that the sportsman class there. I've kind of wondered about it because I know down here, like we'll say late models. If we run the crate late models is what they call them down here.
Okay.
A lot of them, there's a shock rule on there. You can't run adjustable shocks or anything like that. Is that kind of the same deal on those or anything?
So for us, we have two types of shocks. I'm not, I know a little bit about late models. I'm not 100% on the late model deal. Obviously, my specialty is up here in the Northeast. But for us, we have two different types of shocks. Whether you run a 358 modified or you run a big block, you're allowed aluminum body shocks. Okay. They're full aluminum shocks. The insides, they're allowed they're allowed air bleeds. So when the shock gets hot, it's able to bleed off. So they're able to run a lot more specialty stuff with their shocks. I mean, they can run even with the coils and stuff. They can run bump rubbers and all sorts of different unique setup tools that we're not allowed to run. We're not allowed to run spring rubbers, bump rubbers, anything like that.
Gotcha.
But we're also forced to run the steel body shock. So every shock company has an aluminum body that they sell and a steel body for us.
Right.
I'm not sure if late models are the same as far as if they're allowed to run a steel body or all late models just run aluminums. But I know a lot of the late model guys I see, they have on their shocks like a reservoir on the side. So the gas is separate from the actual shock and all that stuff.
Right.
We're not allowed to run that. So all our shocks are all just one single unit.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean there is rules like that though, just to put it in simple terms, but it's a little bit different for us up here in the Northeast. It is it kind of gets technical.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's where I kind of like to bring these guys. Us being from down south here, I guess we get a little more southern following. So I like to we have some guys that run crate late models per se down here. Like to give them the experience of or the something they can relate with up there. So I think that really does it when you talk about stuff like that. So that's cool. Yep. That's cool, man. That's cool to know that that it's very similar, just a little bit different car, a little bit different area.
Cars, I will point out too, the cars have even gotten more similar as the years have went on.
Yeah.
Even in the later years here, we're all you guys are so much more advanced than we are down there. We're kind of behind the times, but all of our cars are now switching to coil over rear suspensions, and before we ran torsion bars in the rear with coil over fronts. So now we're running 4-corner coilovers instead of torsion bar setup in the rear. So there's a lot of change up here in the Northeast, and we're just we're kind of so far behind the times. I think a lot of these rules will conform as the years go on, but our cars are just they're so much different now, and I think they'll be able to take a little bit of a page out of the late model guys' books as the years go on here. And maybe something from the late model guys will stand out that, or from our stuff will stand out that the late model guys like. I don't know, but I think the rules are kind of coming together, and they're making things a lot more the same. Actually, it's kind of crazy how small of a world it's becoming now.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing that, well, I will say our buddy Derek McGrew, we were down at Volusia with them at first of the year.
Yep.
And he was kind of telling me about some of that stuff, how some of the newer style cars were like that, and some of the older ones were, set up a little different. So that's kind of cool to see too. But one thing that is becoming more and more well, I say more and more similar. It bleeds over. We'll say it that way. Is our buddy Randy Keene over there, RK Motorsports Consulting, SRI Performance, and the brake packages that they're putting on these cars now, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I met Randy through a buddy of mine. Randy comes up to Weedsport a few times a year. Not sure even if it's a few times a year, once in a while. But my buddy's a picture taker, and he met Randy, got talking to him, and he says, "Hey, I know this kid, AJ Miller. He says, tell him to message me." So I messaged Randy. I said, what can you do with brakes? I don't. For us up here in the Northeast, we've ran torsion bars, and like I said, we're so far behind the times. and for us to think about brakes as a I guess an advantage,
Right.
It's kind of silly to think you're racing, you want to go fast, right? And for the fans out there that aren't, I guess technical, the brakes are such a huge part of it. And I'd always had decent brakes, never had, anything. I guess I won't say junk, but I never had anything, top of the line. And Randy's like, these PFC ZR24s are the best. And I said, well, I mean, that's what you put on all your late model guys. I mean, there must be something to it. And then, he got into explaining it to me, and it just hit home. And I really didn't think I'd feel as much of a difference as I did, not to doubt him, but I felt such a difference after putting on the PFC ZR24s. They're such a great brake, and then paired with their rotors and their pads and everything. I mean, they just offer such a great line of pads and everything, so you can stop your car in various different ways. And now every time I turn the brake bias, I feel a difference. I can tighten and loosen the car, right on the brake bias, it's crazy to think, because we just went from no adjustability in a car to having a lot of adjustability. And I think that was a huge advantage for me this year, just in consistency. And that's one thing I pride myself on, is consistency, and to have a braking system that allows me to be consistent every lap. I think that was really a big turning point for me as well. So, I really can't thank Randy Keene and SRI Performance for hooking me up with the PFCs. They're definitely the best. I mean, I would recommend them guys to anybody, and definitely get them PFCs on your car. So,
for sure, definitely so. So let's stop right there. Oh, you're like, I did that, didn't you? Oh, let's go back. I know you were talking about how this year's gone and everything. Where'd you start racing at?
So I started when I was 5 years old in go-karts, Kroger Creek Raceway up in Kroger, New York.
I got you.
Yep. So that was my start. That was probably about 20 minutes from my house. So we didn't start out traveling, a lot of hours, but
I got you. How old are you now?
I am 20 now. Yep.
20.
Yep.
Cool. So how long did you race go-karts?
I raced go-karts right up until I can't remember exactly. It's the years are kind of blending now. It's sad. I'm 20 years old and I've got memory loss. But no, I joke with people about that. But no, I think about 2013, 2014 we got out. So I raced go-karts for a long time.
Gotcha.
And then about 2014, I hopped into a scaled down version. It's almost like a mod light for a lot of people around the country. The mod lights are pretty popular.
Yeah.
But it's a scaled down version. The mod light runs 1,000 cc. The car that I ran was an XL modified, and that had a 600 cc motor. It was actually built on a micro sprint chassis, so you could run it as a micro sprint or a 600 cc modified if you wanted to. But they had the cars had R bodies and stuff on them, like our Northeast cars, and it was a center sit car. So it was very, very similar to what I'm into now. We raced those for a good 3 years, 2014 to 2016. In 2016, we paired our 600cc modified up with a Sportsman. We ended up buying our first Sportsman and getting into that. And I ran down to the Afton Motorsports Park, used to be ID8 Speedway. And we got a lot of laps just racing around there. I think my first night out with the Sportsman was I was a little nervous, but I think we ended up coming home third that night, and it was kind of like a relief, because up here in the Northeast, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but for the 602, the lower tier class, we have what we call like a rookie class or a limited class, where it's either a limited budget guy that can't spend as much, or it's like a rookie class, for guys that are just starting out. And I just jumped right up and ran with the regular guys, the best of the best. And we came home third the first night and ended up coming home third or fourth in points that year. We were excited about that. That's really awesome,
For sure.
That's tough to do. So, but then we've been running Sportsman ever since. We ended up selling our XL modified that year and end of that year. And, we upgraded to a 2-car team, and then we're a 3-car sportsman team. And then back in 2019, we bought a 358 motor, which I was talking to you guys about, to run the 358 modifieds with Dale Plank behind the wheel, who's a notorious Northeast racer. Did a little bit of dabbling in the late models himself, but he was he drove the car for a little bit that year. Had some good runs and stuff, but I still had my two sportsman cars, and so I was running that year too. And it was awesome getting to run alongside somebody. I guess that was kind of cool for me, getting to have a teammate and have somebody to race with and kind of bounce ideas off of. I guess that was kind of cool. But we've been running ever since 2017. Actually, we've been running Fulton Speedway on Saturday nights. I bounce between Friday night tracks, Sunday night tracks. I try to run 2 to 3 nights a week at least in a weekly competition.
Wow.
See,
that's what I wish we had around here, is places that raced like that. We get, if we're lucky, we get Friday and Saturday. Most time it's only Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday racing around here? No, that don't happen.
Well, it's kind of the South, so I mean, it's church on Sunday, right?
That's it. That's it.
I joke about that, but it kind of is true.
It's very true.
Up here in the Northeast, though, it's nice. I have pointed that out to a few people. I know a lot of late model guys don't get to race a lot of weekly tracks. You guys travel a lot, and for us, we have every track up here in the Northeast runs Friday, or they run Saturday, or they run Sunday. So your traveling series tracks are also a weekly track where you can see the best of the best that are running the series, also running a weekly show. And I think that's something cool that we kind of offer, and not a lot of other people, take. I don't know if they just don't do it because they don't want to, or I don't know. It's kind of weird how the Northeast is. We kind of do that, and some people say, oh, they beat up on their equipment, and they're not as good in the series shows. But I mean, these guys put on a heck of a show anywhere they go. Whether you're watching a dirt car sportsman, watching me compete with all the professional sportsman teams, watching all your 358 modified drivers, you're watching your big block guys. They run their weekly tracks, but then they give it their 110% for the series races and stuff, and it's cool. Everybody culminates from all their weekly tracks, and you get to see, the guy from Fulton Speedway compete against the guy from Utica Rome, and that guy compete against the guy that races Weedsport Weekly or whatever. So that's kind of cool for us, and I like that we're kind of the only ones that do it because it's kind of unique. But for us, it's nice. Like I said,
for sure, man. Yeah, down here we get you get 3 things on Sundays. You get church, NASCAR, and NFL. That's it. Every now and then some baseball. So that's pretty much it. That's all we get on Sundays down here.
Oh boy, yeah. Sundays for us are usually washing the car and getting ready to go to the next racetrack if we're lucky.
There you go. I do want to go back real quick and ask you something. Me and Sterling ask pretty much everybody this that comes on here and says they've raced go-karts. What kind of chassis was you running in the go-karts?
I ran a few different chassis. I started out with Slack when I first started, but I ended up my favorite chassis and the chassis that I ran all the time were a Phantom Racing chassis.
There you go, Sterling.
There we go. That's what I always ran, man.
No, you didn't. You ran a Shadow.
I mean, yeah, it's what you always ran.
I ran Phantom.
Everybody runs Phantoms. I ran Shadows, yeah.
Phantoms,
that's because they win.
The best.
It's always the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the Phantom was always, we could switch around from different carts and stuff, and it was always the Phantom that got the job done.
We still got I think it's like a 99 Banshee sitting out in the shop right now.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
It's awesome. Good. I'm going to tell you, and I had 3 or 4 of them. We ran the whole national series in go-karts for years.
Yep.
But,
WK or?
Yeah, WK.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Back when it was big, not near as big anymore.
No, I ran the northeast part of it, yeah.
Yeah. But to me, and I had some of the newer, more adjustable front end go-karts also. I actually had one of the first Nemesis that came off the line.
Oh, wow.
From Harold. They sent it to us. But in my opinion, the Banshee was the best driving go-kart ever. I could always adjust on it, and it would worked. It was noticeable. The adjustments were noticeable. Every other go-kart ever ran, even at, I mean, I know some of them put down faster lap times, but they just did not drive near as comfortable as that Banshee.
No, but I'll point out too. I ran. I used to run Friday nights at Kroger Creek.
Yeah.
And on Saturday mornings, there was a track up by us that was called the Adirondack Karting Association. It was an asphalt track at a fairgrounds.
Okay.
And it was a little egg-shaped place. You had to get on the brakes and everything. It was like Martinsville. It felt like, I mean, for go-karts. I mean, you just slam it on the brakes, and you had to really work. And we ended up running our Seraph on the dirt at Kroger. And then we would go Saturday mornings and run our slack on the asphalt. And I just could never get the slack to run as well. So, because you always had to have a 5-degree spindle, so it was always hard to change from 5-degree to a normal spindle for dirt, and vice versa on Saturday mornings. But we ended up one night, I forget what happened, but we ended up not taking the slack, and we ended up taking our Phantom Seraph down to the asphalt track and put the 5-degree spindle on there. Still had the dirt on it from the night before, of course, because they raced Saturday mornings. And we went out there, and that year we ended up winning 20 out of the 25 races at the asphalt track, along with a lot of races at the dirt track as well. So,
wow.
I mean, that Phantom Seraph always went well, and you could buy new carts, brand new carts, and that Phantom Seraph, I always ended up pulling back out and running it.
Yeah, there's always that one you go to that's just just fits
so
you.
I feel what you're talking about right there.
That's cool, man. That's cool. All right, well, what's racing wise? What's coming up for you here in the near future? Anything?
Well, we don't have anything more this year. We just closed out our year a few weeks ago back at Fulton Speedway for their Outlaw 200 weekend. Closed it off with a bang. We had 90 sportsmen show up. A lot of those big shows, we get 90 to 100 cars, and we ended up putting in a show through the qualifying night. And I was coming up through the field and ended up having a parts failure, just out of our control. That was my only parts failure for the year, unfortunately. And it happens at the biggest race of the year, coming up through the field. Had a really fast car, but that capped off our year. Like I said, we had a really good run in the points at Fulton. Extremely consistent all year. Just every week we were in the top 10. I mean, top 10, top 5, top 3 every week. I mean, we didn't fall out of the top 10. I don't think more than once at Fulton Speedway. And twice at Utica Rome. And that's, I mean, we're running 2 different cars both nights of the week, and it's, we didn't have any failures. My crew, myself, we all did a great job doing our job in the shop and putting in the hours to make sure that car was 100% and making sure the other car was 100%. And so, we ended up closing out the year with a good points finish in 4th Fulton and then 6th at Utica Rome, like I said. And but we're looking forward to next year. I'm thinking about coming down to Charlotte next week, and I know I'm coming down to Charlotte next week, and I'm gonna visit with Randy and hang out in the SRI booth. So that's something I'm looking forward to because I've never been to Charlotte. I raced down in Pennsylvania myself. I'm not racing next week, but that's about the farthest south I've been is Pennsylvania, I want to say. So for me, I'm not very cultural, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Well, cool deal, man. We'll definitely see you at Charlotte and be there ready to hang out, man. That's always a fun time up there.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited. Randy was telling me about the SRI booth. He says that it's the hopping place, and so I'm really looking forward to that and getting to meet you guys and in person. And I've talked to Randy and met him in person before. Randy came up to my shop and actually put the PFC brakes on the car, so that was interesting. I've never had a company that sold you a part and then come up to your shop and put it on for you, no questions asked. And that's awesome. So, I got to meet him.
I will say, Randy will do whatever it takes to sell his pads there.
Oh yeah, I always said it with that Southern accent. I mean, a Southern boy can sell ketchup to a lady in white clothes. I mean, he really could with that. He's just such a good salesman, and it's not that he's just such a good salesman. The products, he really believes in the products because they're good products. I mean, he's not selling you junk and telling you it's great, and that's what I like. I like he really is passionate about the products he's selling. So, I feel like, when I talked to him, he was really confident. He really had a lot of insight into the products as well. So that's I mean, that just plays into the sales of it, and he's really good at that. So
For sure, and I've always told everybody that runs, especially the PFC stuff that Randy sells. If you won't have very, very many, if any, but if there's ever any issue with his stuff, all you have to do is give him a call, shoot him a text, whatever. He knows the issue already, and he can tell you how to fix it. So, or tell you what you need, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I found myself a couple times, just trying to get adjusted to the new braking package that we put on. I felt myself texting him a couple times, and I said, am I supposed to be doing this? Am I doing this right? And he's like, yep, you're doing it right. Do this, do that. And so it's been really helpful. That, like I said, they were really helpful in keeping me consistent all year. I mean, I like I said, I pride myself in trying to be as consistent as possible on track, and I think those upped our game, tenfold. So I'm really happy to have them have the PFC brakes on the car and have Randy on board. He's great at customer service and just insight and everything. He knows about it. It's great. He really knows about the products he's talking about. It's not. I like when you can call somebody and actually ask them, and like you said, just you get an answer. He knows.
That's right. Well, cool deal, man. Well, we can't wait to hang out with you some up here at Charlotte in what was that, about a week and a half now, I guess.
Yeah.
So, man, we appreciate you coming on, giving us some time, and I want you to, if you can, tell us who all helps you get to the track every week. All your sponsors, all your crew guys.
Oh, I got a huge crew. I can't thank my dad enough. That's my car owner. I joke that I got to talk to the car owner, but that's my dad. I can't thank him enough for putting me in the best equipment. My parents always were good at that. We always ran the best of the best stuff, and my dad's always been there with me 110%. So I can't thank him enough. My girlfriend, she's always very supportive. We're traveling all over the place, and she's right there with me. My dad, he's at work and he can't show up. She's always there with me, at the track helping. Craig and the shop and Joe, they're big helps in the shop. Like I said, we only had that one failure at the end of the year, and that was something totally out of their control, out of my control. So they're a big help. Ricky Allen comes to the track, helps us a ton. So I can't thank them guys enough. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few guys in the crew, but we got a lot of guys that just help. I can't thank them guys enough. But on the sponsorship side, I really can't thank Pioneer Windows enough. That's my primary sponsor on the car. NH Kelman Inc. They're a scrap company. I can't thank them guys enough. They've been on since day one almost. I mean, Kelmans have been on there on my go-karts even, I believe. I almost back to the beginning. I can't remember completely, but I was a little tiny guy at that time. So
there you go.
But Bill Lake Modular Homes, Kennedy Architectural, and then I got a few others on here, just product sponsors and stuff that have helped me through the years, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to take a lot into the marketing side, and I got a couple of these nice product sponsors this year. I had VP Racing Fuels come on board this year, and that's been a huge help for all the racing we do, for them to give me, give back to me and let me run their product. I've always stood by VP. I always thought VP was awesome. They were the best fuel, in my opinion. So I'm thankful that they stepped in and gave back to me and as a racer, and that's awesome. I can't thank them enough. Swift Springs came on board. I met Frank last year, and he stepped up big this year and helped me out. So Frank from Swift, I can't thank him enough as well. Dig Race Products supplies all of our shocks. That's huge need for us. We always need shocks. So Schaefer Racing Oil, that's all we run in all of our cars, and their lubricants are almost second to none in my opinion. That's how I feel. So I'm sure I'm forgetting a few. I'm forgetting Henry's Exhaust. They supply all my exhausts, because in the Northeast we don't run straight headers, so we run tailpipes. And if you need tailpipes, the guy that can weld up the best set of tailpipes is Bobby Henry at Henry's Exhaust. And then Miller Fabrication, that's our personal business. We do all of our own bodies, and we sell to a lot of guys up here in the Northeast. So we're thankful to have that on the car and be able to do all of our own stuff and sell to all the other people. So I believe that's it. I'm probably forgetting a few, but there's just so many. There's so many people that get you to the track. You get starstruck.
Oh yeah, man. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome, man. Well, cool deal. Well, like I said, man, we can't wait to catch up with you in Charlotte and hang out and
sure,
and all that good stuff. And we'll for sure be talking with you come next year when you get back into some racing and catch up with you then, see what's going on, man.
Oh yeah, we got big plans for next year. We'll be back at the Fulton Speedway again, and I'm not sure what we're doing on Friday nights or Sundays or whatever we're doing, but we'll have some plans then for you to talk about, and look forward to talking with you guys then. So,
all right, buddy, sounds good. Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you again for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was AJ Miller. Y'all catch him out up there in the New York area, but catch him out anywhere. There's always a racing service, Speed 51. I'll go ahead and say it. I know we're Speed 51 affiliate, but you got Flow Racing and all them things that
you got options.
It's always got those guys on down here. So
you might get to watch him ride some snowmobiles for a while, but
yeah, you might see that for a little while. But he'll be back first of the year. Racing kind of shuts down up north.
Yeah,
this time of year, we don't ever shut down around here. No. It don't ever get cold enough to shut down around here. They just keep on going.
Keep on racing, bro.
So appreciate AJ coming on, hanging out with us. One of our SRI Performance guys, Team SRI Motorsports. So appreciate it, and he'll be at if you're gonna be at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track. If you're gonna be up there for the World Finals next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, he will be in town. Catch up with him, say hey. Tell him we tell him that you heard him on here.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, there was bunch more while we on the dirt racing side. We'll a lot of dirt racing around here dirt racing going on this past weekend. Few cool races, somewhat, I guess we'll say close. A few of them far off. I guess we'll start with, let's say, the Powell Family Memorial at Alltech. We had some buddies down there running. Will Harrington down there running. Jeremy Steele. All them. Carson Ferguson was down there running. But also you had Jimmy Owens in the field and Kyle Bronson. Well, Jimmy Owens kind of took him to school. I will say that. But it was a really, really, really good race. Will Harrington actually was up there fighting with Jimmy for a long time. I think he kind of used up tires.
Yeah.
But, man, it was a cool race. Jeremy Steele didn't make the main off of any other means as far as qualifying or heat race or B main. So he went to the LCQ. Well, the LCQ at the Powell Family Memorial at Alltech, you can either take $750 or you can start at the rear of the field. Well, Jeremy made a last lap pass in turn 1 and 2, a slide job, and somehow stuck it. I ain't figured out how he stuck it yet, but he made it work. It was impressive looking. And he said, I don't know if we'll go. This was the greatest comment of the whole night. He said, I don't know if we'll make it anywhere in the main. He said, but if not, y'all go buy some T-shirts later. So he made it in there. He jumped in the main and got, I don't know who. They didn't show a replay or anything of it, so I don't know what happened exactly. I hadn't talked to him, but I know he kind of got took out, tore up front end car.
He started in the back. That's tough.
It is, but I will say, daggone Kyle Bronson came from 18th to 3rd.
Whew.
Yeah.
So he knows how to get around there pretty good.
Yeah, he runs that race every year.
Yeah,
one crate race he runs every year. So that was kind of cool to see. It was cool to watch him do it. Our buddy Will Harrington running second for a long time. Ran up there. Him and Jimmy Owens kind of battled for it for a little while. I think tires fell off on wheel, kind of looked like, and I think he ended up falling back to 6th or 7th, something like that. Carson Ferguson ended up 2nd. So it was a good race though, really good race.
Sweet.
Another one that was going on, Sonoya was racing. Kind of cool little fact down there. Ashton Winger went to drive for G.R. Smith. We were able to catch up with G.R. Smith. That he was on live with us at Bristol.
Mm-hmm.
We were up there. Got to talk to him for a while. He's pretty cool. Got to help him with the race car some, probably a lot actually.
Yeah.
Had some issues there and hot laps and everything. And we were kind of pulling on the car ourselves and trying to help get brake line back on it and all that fun stuff. So, but anyway, GR now has put Ashton Winger in the car. Ashton Winger went down there to Sonoya Friday and Saturday night, broke out the broom, swept the weekend over. I mean, this wasn't just no whatever race. Over Brandon Overton finishing 2nd. Ricky Weiss finishing 3rd. Yeah, so
they mean business, bro.
yeah, they broke them cars out, which I mean that's Ashton's home track there. I mean, he knows that track. I mean, don't get me wrong, he knows it, but you don't just go anywhere and beat Brandon Overton.
No.
So
for sure.
And I mean, he did it in nice fashion too. It wouldn't just happen to get around. No. He got around him and drove off from him.
Sweet.
So it was cool to see.
Glad to see that, yeah.
Cool to see somebody like Ashton get up there and do something like that, and cool to see. I like GR's.
Oh yeah,
he was nice.
Lower budget guys, and go out there and perform like that. That's cool.
He is, but I'm tell you what, I think he kind of decided when he was putting Ashton in his car, he was going to step up his game. I know he had the cars at Longhorn, getting them all completely redone, all this stuff, and everything looks new, looks nice. So GR might be back in it. I remember when GR was, kind of a big name around this area. I mean, he still is, but he was a big name to be reckoned with around this area back in, I don't know, 10 years or so ago. Yeah. Maybe not even that long. So cool to see Ashton get in there and do that and all that stuff for them guys. And so that was cool. Also, our buddy Trent Ivey decided to go to Modoc, and he won $7,500 over there.
He sure did. He got the monkey off his back. Bro.
He got the monkey off his back. You know what? Let's do something right now. We're going to do this live on here. We're not live, but it's kind of live.
Yeah.
Let's see. By chance. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Let's try this real quick. See what happens. Let's call Trent Ivey. Probably won't answer. He's not answering.
What's up, man?
Oh, there he is. There he is. We're recording a podcast. What are you doing?
Washing this damn race car.
There you go. Hey, we were just talking about you, so I was like, Sterling, let's call him. So
Might as well.
I figured he'd answer. Man,
Yes, sir.
you went to Modoc and you won.
I know it seemed like a damn fairy tale after this year.
You got the monkey off your back.
Yeah, it finally worked out for us, for sure.
I know you
Thank
wouldn't.
goodness.
I know you wouldn't expect no interview tonight, but you never would know what to expect out of us anyway. So
I like it better like that.
That's the way to do it, yeah.
How's everybody been?
Good, man. How about you? How about everybody over your way? Obviously, you won, so pretty good. But other than that,
Everybody's a hell of a lot better now. I tell you that.
Are y'all a lot happier people to be around now?
I believe so. That's probably the best ride home I've had in a while in the rig. No shit. So
There you go.
try to do it some more.
There you go. All right. Well, I didn't get to see the race, unfortunately. So tell us about the race.
I think I lost you, David.
You there?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. All right. Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to see none of the race. So, tell us about the race, man.
It was good. I got out to the lead on a front stretch, when we took the green, and I was like, man, I don't see Anthony. Like, I think I got him, and I looked to my right, and here he come by me. Like the top got a little bit better run, and he was about even with me getting into one, and I had to man up and get in there, and I slid him, and he crossed me over, and we were neck and neck again down the backstretch. I was like, damn, I can't catch a break. They really don't want me to win this year. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna go for broke right here because I knew I had to get out front at Modoc. So I just held it wide open around the top in 3 and 4, which don't happen much. And thank goodness we got out front and didn't have no trouble. But that was pretty much it. The car got better the later the race went on, and it hadn't been doing that lately. So we wrote some stuff down in our notes, and I hate us end of the year now.
Well, hey, it's a good place to start off with for next year.
For sure.
So, all right. So I ain't asking specifics by no means, but did y'all change something up there trying it out?
Yeah, I've been on the phone with my shot guy this week, and his name's Wyatt Hardison, and he's a great guy, and we talked about some stuff that we wanting to change, and I wasn't gonna race till Thursday night. I got about lit playing poker down here at the shop, and I looked at that. I was like, man, let's go race, Saturday. So we worked on a Friday and went racing Saturday, but yeah, we threw some stuff at it last minute, and it all worked out for once for us.
Sweet, man. I'm glad it did. I was happy. As soon as I saw it, I sent it Sterling and all this stuff. I said, sweet, Trent finally won.
Yes,
finally,
sir.
yeah.
This year. Well, I mean, last year you was doing pretty good, and all of a sudden, this year it just seemed like just everything just hadn't fell together for you, but it finally is.
I know, man. I swear, and it's like you can ask anybody. It's like when it ain't going good, it takes a lot of work and a lot of money, unfortunately, and a lot of time to get back to where you need to be. But after you get back there, you're like, well, dang, man, it wasn't so bad after all. So that's the way I feel now. So it's definitely refreshing.
That's what I was saying. It's refreshing, but it also seems almost to some extent more rewarding that way.
It does. It's a lot of work that goes into it for sure.
Yeah, I know y'all been working on it, man. I know y'all been. I've texted you a few times, and I know y'all been trying to get it straight. So it's there. It's there. I believe it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm just letting you know I'm sending you a bill for a tablecloth because I pulled one out. And it's got a Trent Ivey signature on it, so if anybody wants to buy one, I got one for sale for $1 million since this past.
You might want to let us win a couple more races before you go trying to raffle that girl off. Until then, just keep it in your closet or something. Maybe one day.
Nah, I just thought it was funny. I was picking one. I don't know. I might have told that story on here. I don't know. We went to go do a wedding one day, and I pulled out our table from I think it was a few weeks before it was when we were up at Jesus.
Wings
Etc. I had a brain fart. But anyway, I was up at Wings Etc. Well, I fold everything up but anyway, get it out at a wedding. Go to DJ a wedding. I pull it out, and there's a Trent Ivey signature on our tablecloth. I said, sweet. I thought I hit the jackpot.
A little unexpected.
Nah, that's sweet, man. Well, cool deal. Well, I ain't gonna hold you up too much, man. I just wanted to congratulate you more than anything on getting a win there, and let you talk about it. Who was all down there helping you this week?
Dude, it was. It started out. It was just me and my mom and dad, and we went to Friendship last week. Same three, son. Skeleton crew, and we started in the rear and come to seventh. So I was a little weary about going this weekend with just, me and my mom and daddy, but we loaded up, and a sponsor of ours called Reed. Thank God for him and his buddy Hippie. They showed up, and right when we were leaving, they got in a truck and they helped us. And hell, they ain't want to race all year neither with their street stock. So it was good for the whole crew to get to go to Modoc this weekend. I promise you.
There you go. That's sweet. Well, I'm just letting you know you're not getting invited back to any more Chicken Bone Alley iRacing events. You got outvoted. No, I'm just picking. I ain't get to talk to you. Yeah, we have been able to talk to you on here since you went and dominated
Blistered us.
Eldora on our iRacing event. So
y'all just next time, just don't put me in there at Eldora on a 100 lapper when it gets slick around the top. That's the only thing I can do on iRacing is run the fence.
Hey,
Anywhere else you got me, I promise.
It brought out the best in everybody. I'll put it that way.
That was a tough race. Me and Fergie were talking about that a couple of days ago. We were like, man, you remember when we run that 100 laps at Eldora and there was like 2 cautions, 3 cautions?
Yeah.
It was rough, man. We were struggling. My foot was cramping. But that was fun. I hope y'all do that again. I want to sneak in there again on y'all.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna have a winter series, and we're gonna do it again.
That'd be awesome.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations again. I just wanted to call and congratulate you, and appreciate you answering the phone, not making us look too bad since I did it without even pausing this thing or anything.
Oh, dude, any way I can get away from watching this race car, I'm down with it. So thank you for calling me. Because unfortunately the sun goes down awfully early nowadays.
No, just wait another week. What you got anything planned for the rest of the year, racing wise?
We got that Prelude race at Gaffney next Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm gonna I haven't really told anybody, but I'm slipping in there at Charlotte this weekend in the 604.
Oh.
Try to bust them up without them,
You
think about it too much. But
in your car? Your car?
No, I got me a sick ass 604 ride. The guy he always lets me drive it when I'm down in Georgia racing. So I'm gonna bust in there on him and try to pick us up another little check right here at the end of the year. Somewhere I feel like I can get around it pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got that Tuesday race and we got Charlotte, and hell, the rest will just be Thanksgiving and Christmas for us.
So you gonna run the World Finals?
No, hell no.
Oh, I thought you meant that.
No. I hope my race car's sold by then. I got a brand new one coming in November. So we got big stuff happening around here.
Big stuff. Big things.
Yeah, thankfully. Yes, sir.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm going to get it. I appreciate y'all calling me.
All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate it. We'll be talking with you.
Yes, sir. Good to hear from you guys. See you.
All right, dude. Later.
That's a cool way to do it from now on.
I'm just gonna start just calling people just randomly in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll answer. Maybe not.
Maybe
it's the suspense that'll get everybody.
Yeah.
So
that was cool though for him to come on there with us a minute and hang out.
Yeah, for sure. Our buddy Trent Ivey. As you heard it, he won at Modoc.
Yeah, nice little chick. $7,500. That's good.
I say well, especially when you haven't been, and he didn't go down there against any slouches either, as he just said. That's cool to see. I like it. I like it a lot. But all right. Well, then there was let's see. There was the Keystone. What was that? Keystone Classic. What is that called? Anyway, Max Blair, another SRI, Team SRI performance, went up there and won it. Well, that was a big race too. That was a $20,000.
Wow,
$20,000 race, something like that. And so there was a lot of racing. Steel Block Bandits at Cherokee this past weekend. I have to look up. I know our buddy Willie Milliken was up there running, ran pretty good in it. So I have to look all that up. Man, I don't have that right in front of me. Sorry, but there was racing everywhere this past weekend.
Pow of racing.
I like it. I like it like that.
Yeah.
Choices.
That's right. Choices.
But we've been talking about it. So, guys, if you haven't noticed, SRI Performance is your place for winners.
Yes.
So, guys, head over to SRI Performance. We'll be out there with them next weekend at the World Finals, hanging out. Y'all come see us at Charlotte. But SRI is your one-stop shop for all things racing. And when I mean your one-stop shop, it don't even have to be at the shop. It can be at the trackside trailer. That thing is packed with all the good parts.
Everything up in there.
Everything. You have an issue at the track, head over to the trailer. Get what you need. Fix the car back up. Get it ready to go. Make that main. Get you at least some start money, whatever. But if you're getting parts from SRI Performance, you're probably going to end up with more than starting money.
Oh, yes.
You're going to get a little better than that. So head over to SRI Performance. Get all the parts that you will need. Make your car go fast. Talk to our buddy Randy Keene over there, as you heard earlier. Get you some PFC brakes. Get on your car. If you're ordering online, go to www.sriperformance.com. When you get all your cart built up, as always, guys, promo code CBONE10. That is C as in
Chicken.
BONE 10. Get yourself 10% off at time of checkout. Also, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Go check them out. Get all the fresh metalwork that you will need for your ride. Make it look pretty. All you guys heading up to the Short Track World Championship aired at Charlotte this weekend. Made them cars look good going up there, guys. I know most of y'all got them ready already. Made them cars look good. I always catches some good camera time up there, whether it be TV cameras or pictures. They always get some awesome pictures from Charlotte.
Yes.
The dirt track, so make it look good for your sponsors, if nothing else. So head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, make that car look good. You know what? Talk about this Short Track World Championship or Short Track Championship, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Charlotte. This weekend, y'all know what you gonna see a lot of up there?
I'm going to say some Earl Raymond racing engines.
You're gonna see some 602, 604s. Earl Ramey racing engines. You'll probably see some modifieds with some Earl Ramey racing engines. You'll liable to see a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Earl Ramey racing
And look
engines.
up front, too, typically, because that's where they'll be.
That's where they'll be. They'll be up front. I know last year I think they won a handful of races at that. I know John Rogerio Jr., our buddy, he won last year there, so be on the lookout for him. Do something again, and it sound like he gonna have some competition with Trent Ivey, but that was the exclusive we got this week. So
Breaking news.
breaking news. But anyway, Earl Ramey Racing Engines will be up front at Charlotte for sure. I know it, and I'm 99.9999999% certain he'll be there also.
Yes. He'll be taking care of all his peoples.
Exactly. He's always there checking on everything, make sure everything's working right and up to par with everything else. So, if you need a motor of any sort, guys, probably got a little backlog because he stays busy, but call Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Get you a motor coming. Get that engine coming. And when we get it ready to roll, get you some time on his chassis dyno. Find all the horsepower that you can. That'll be make that car fast, man. Make it fast, 'cause that's what Earl does. Earl and his guys up there, man, they putting out some fast motors and customer service second to none. It's always guys at the track. I know everybody texts Earl constantly. If any little thing's going on, they're just asking for suggestions and don't even have to. I've seen guys texting Earl about stuff not even engine related, just because he knows it.
He's a smart feller.
Yes. So y'all go check him out.
Yes, sir.
I got a something to talk about. We had to put a picture of it. My wife, right before the show, Kayla, right before we started the show today, she brought us she said she had squirreled some money back, hid it from me, and had us a sign made.
Yes. Shaped like South Carolina.
Yes, with the Chicken Bone Alley logo on it, painted.
It is awesome.
It is awesome. We're going to have to figure out how to put it on the backside of our table here and do some live stuff and all that fun jazz.
Everybody can see it.
Everybody can see it. But I'm gonna have to take a picture of it here shortly.
Yeah.
And
post it up.
Post it up. But we appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
So I need to tell everybody about that. So anyway, we were talking a little bit about it earlier, but we'll go in a little more in depth with it. With NASCAR stuff this past weekend. Saturday was the Xfinity race at Kansas. This weekend they were all at Kansas, Cup and Xfinity. Boy, that was a action-packed Xfinity race. It's like everybody who was anywhere close to being in the points got in some sort of wreck.
Really?
Dude, it was rough. It was, and I mean it was all just crazy stuff. Crazy. Ty Gibbs ended up winning the race. Yeah, he set like a record of being the youngest driver to win as many races as he has in one season. And he's not even running the whole season.
Exactly. Gotta look to see what's going to happen next year.
That's what's crazy about it. So it's wild. Let's see, I can pull it up here real quick. Oops, wrong thing. Ty Gibbs won it. Austin Cindric finished second. AJ Allmendinger finished third. So Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger, neck and neck still for this points battle.
Yeah.
Coming up to Martinsville next week. I think they're running Martinsville also. And dude, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be close.
Very close.
It's gonna be close. I think them two definitely going on to Phoenix for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
One cool thing that kind of happened in this race, I will say, Michael Annett finally back in the car, finished 7th.
Well, that's pretty impressive for him. I mean,
yeah, because he was kind of on, and especially he's on his way out, retiring from full time racing. Michael Annett 7th, Sam Mayer 8th, Justin Allgaier 9th. So JRM 7th, 8th, and 9th. The only reason Noah Gregson isn't right there is because he got took out by Sam Mayer.
His teammate. Sam Mayer ain't been hitting on a whole lot.
It was a rookie mistake too. I mean, oof. He was racing with him, but it was Harrison Burton and Noah was racing side by side, kind of, and they were on the outside of Sam. Well, when Harrison kind of come by Sam out in the middle, Harrison was in the middle. Come by Sam on the outside. Sam went to tuck back up in behind him, but clipped his bumper. And it turned, and Harrison went to correct it and turn it straight head on into the wall, right dead in front of Noah. Yeah, and I mean, it was a hard hit. I mean, it was kind of one that I will say Jeff Burton was on there, and all of a sudden he went quiet for a long time. Because it was a hard hit all wheels up off the ground.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Ooh,
it was.
But he was all right.
Yeah, me too. He jumped out of the car. Was good to go.
Them cars are so safe now. I mean, it's
so much safer.
Yeah,
thank God. But yeah, he jumped out of the car. But it was a hard hit. Sam apologized for it, but dude, you got to have a little more. I know NASCAR is different from any other sport with this playoff system. I mean, I may not be a fan of it, but if it's going to be, then it's going to be. It is what it is. You got to play by the rules.
Yeah.
So I understand NASCAR is different, as in to the point that the teams that are eliminated are still on the track. They're still racing. And I get that. And I get he wanted to stay there and race. But, man, you got Harrison Burton and Noah right there.
Both.
Who are racing for the playoffs.
Right.
You just
took them both out.
And crazily affected this point, especially for your teammate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty rough there, Bo.
Dude. So, I don't know. I'm wondering what's I haven't heard anything about him for next year. I don't know. I know Josh is gonna be in the 8 car.
Right.
But the one's still technically open.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Whoever can bring some money.
Well, Sam probably still can, but Noah was none too happy with him.
Oh, I bet not.
No. No. None too happy with him. And I can't blame him. I can't blame him at all because it put Noah's now in a he was right there on kind of on the cut line, kind of back and forth, but it has now put him in a must win.
He's 24 points back now.
Yeah, he is there.
Harrison Burton's 51 points back.
Yeah. I ain't saying you can't make up 24 points and make it in.
Be awfully hard.
But it's gonna be tough with the crowd that you're racing.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a must win, but it is a must win for Harrison. There's no way he can make up 51 points in a race.
No.
So that is a must win for him. Noah's gonna have to pull off something big. He needs a couple stage wins. And still finish up front to make that up. A win would be a whole lot I mean, not easier, but it would make that points battle easier.
Right.
More guaranteed, I guess you say. So there was a lot of other crazy things going on in that race. I mean, just a lot of just random odd spins. I don't know. It was weird. So but anyway, so Ty Gibbs went on to win another one. Dude, that boy's.
He's tough now. I mean, I give it to him. Boy, I mean,
that car, I think, has, I can't remember if they said 9 or 10 wins this year, the 54 car.
Shoo. Between Kyle,
him, somebody else, I want to say. You know, the one person who hasn't won in it?
Who?
Ty Dillon.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So that don't really surprise me.
No. It just
unfortunate.
Which, I mean, they put him in a super speedway also, so.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, you can't really, I guess, count that. I'd love to see. Which he was in it. Or was it? It was somewhere else he was in that, I think.
Remember.
I don't know. Might not be in that car, but I don't know. Who knows? But Ty Gibbs, man, he's figured that ride out.
Yeah.
He's gonna have something for them boys. He gonna be a force to be reckoned with next year.
I promise.
In that car.
Yes.
I heard somebody talking about the other day. Oh, he needs to go truck series. I'm like, no, he don't.
No, I don't see he can go in trucks.
He don't need to go to no truck series.
No.
I think that was kind of because I heard some talking that the first of the year that was kind of the plan. He was going to run a couple Xfinity races, but he was also going to run some truck series stuff. And once he started winning Xfinity series races,
they were like,
never mind. Let's just keep him in this, run some more races. So that's why he's had some unsponsored cars in it. But,
right, yeah.
I mean, you can run unsponsored when you win.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So, I don't know. But, anyway, Cup race, Hendrick cars looked really good.
Really good.
Except for Alex Bowman.
I don't know what's up with that car. They're struggling.
I don't either. I don't get it.
I mean, they're identical cars. We know that, Alex can drive.
Yeah.
Especially a mile and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something's just up there.
That car is just off. I'm wondering, and I know this is still crazy. I don't know why they would be, though. It was just like, because that was Kansas was the last mile and a half that car will ever go to. That generation of car. That car is done for a mile and a half. You got half mile at Martinsville, and you got a mile at Phoenix.
That's it.
That's all that's left of this car. So I was like, well, maybe they was trying something. And I'm like, why would they be trying anything? Because, especially if you have a car out of the playoffs,
Right.
you'd be trying something testing-wise for the other car. But I'm like, you're not gaining anything.
No.
Unless he was just like, let's go off of their setup. Let's do something different. That way, if theirs doesn't do good, maybe ours a hit. I don't know. But that's happened multiple times this year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's just Alex with this package that they got. Just don't work with him. It's really weird, too, because you would think Alex came from, midgets and stuff like that, too.
Mm-hmm.
And getting in some sprint car stuff. So, you would think his driving style would be similar to Kyle Larson.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something's it's got to be for that
Something's
car to be
different.
so different, right?
Something's really different. So, and William Byron was up there all day, then fell off at the end. But Kyle and Chase Elliott battled it out for the win, and Kyle prevailed once again.
Yep, 3 in a row, twice this year.
First person to do that since
I know Dale.
I think
Earnhardt.
it was Dale Earnhardt, like 87. I want to say it was
Something like
89.
that.
It was
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah, very impressive. In this day and age, is tight as everything is.
Oh, and something really cool about this win. Well, regardless, it was cool about his car, period. But something really cool about the win. Did you notice what was over the door of the car?
What?
Being October, different cancer awarenesses and stuff. A lot of teams took the time this week to put cancer survivors on their car. On Kyle Larson's was his friend Greg Big Bear Fernelli.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
If y'all don't know who that is the founder, owner, big man at SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel.
Yes, sir. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I took a picture. I think I took a picture. I had to find it. So that was cool. It was cool to see old Greg get in there. So, but yeah, so Cup race, Kyle Larson. I ain't gonna say it was dominating fashion. Hendrick cars were kind of dominating.
They were, but it was pretty much whoever was out front.
Well, it kind of was.
On
but,
restarts, you had to get.
But I'm gonna tell you, Harvick kind of put it on him there for a while, and I think that's what happened to Harvick. I think that's why Harvick fell back there at the end, because he tried to get around Larson so hard for so many laps.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying, I think it was some aero stuff, but at the same time, Kyle was changing up his line like every lap just to confuse Kevin.
Right.
And so, might have been some aero stuff, but I think it was also he just got outrun.
Yeah.
Because at the end, Chase Elliott was definitely the fastest, but then Chase run into the wall like 4 times. I'm like, dude, quit running the wall. You got a good points. I know you want to win, but
I know. You got to keep there.
just keep it right there. So, but Chase was definitely fastest. But Kyle, that's what's been so amazing about that car this year is he's been able to figure out how to be fast enough to get out front at the first of the run.
Yep.
But fast enough to maintain throughout the entire run.
Right.
Instead of being really fast at one end or really fast at the other end of that run, they've just figured out how to
They sure have.
be consistent throughout the whole run.
They sure have. No doubt about that.
Martinsville coming up for them guys. It's really a toss-up right now because it kind of was at one point. Hendrick cars ran good there for a long, long time. Especially going back all the way to days of Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson fighting it out there.
Right.
So they ran good there for a long, long time. Chase has still
He's good there.
maintained being really good there. Let's see. Kyle Busch, so-so there. He ran good.
So.
Martin Truex, really good
Very
there.
good there. Denny Hamlin.
Very good. Joey Logano
Yeah.
has been fairly decent there.
Right.
So the guys that are up front battling for this thing,
It's going to be tough.
Brad Keselowski,
I don't know.
His stats don't back it up.
Well, they're not really dominating fashion right now.
No. Who else is?
But Joe Logano,
Blaney.
He's got to go in pretty much.
Yeah.
He's 26 points back. Blaney, yeah, he's 1 point back. Kyle Busch, like I said, he's on the cutoff. Martin Truex Jr. is 3 points back, so he don't necessarily have to go win.
No.
He's got to outrun some guys, and like we said before, the stage points are going to mean a lot.
A lot.
A whole lot. So definitely got to look into that.
But then you're going to see guys like Logano and stuff like that ain't even going to care about winning a stage. It's just, I want to win this race. But you can't really play that out at Martinsville because you're going to get lapped.
Yeah, you can't. That's going to be tough there.
So
it really is.
They're going to have to be fast, regardless of whatever else. There may be some pit strategy played because it is so tough to pass there. But that bumper can also come into play at Martinsville.
Yep, we've seen it before.
Yeah. Ask
Denny Hamlin and
Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott about it.
Yep.
I will say this past weekend, they must have adhered to NASCAR's request.
Yeah.
But I will say Kevin really messed him up that last restart. Chase might have been able to get back up there sooner, but Kevin really messed him up that last restart by making it 3 wide down into 1.
Right.
And he did not push him at all, so it kind of dropped Chase. Chase got stuck in the middle and just kind of, you can't stay there at Kansas. You'll get loose in a heartbeat. So,
right.
So he didn't race easy around him by no means, but I didn't see them touch each other.
No, they're Kevin's definitely gonna make it tough.
Yeah,
I think.
I did hear. I don't know if we talked about this or not. I heard. They said it was going around. NASCAR had a conversation with them after the Roval. That's all that was said. There was a conversation. I found out. I heard. I think it was Jenna Fryer put it out. This so-called conversation was a 45-second conversation, quote unquote. Only hearing from Steve O'Donnell.
No, really.
There was no comment back and forth from
it was just
Chase.
You do this.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, the end.
That was it.
Wow.
I don't know. I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, look, they made their bed. Let them play it out. Now, I don't want to see somebody that's out of it come affect the outcome of the points, but I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
That's kind of the gentleman's agreement there that used to be in NASCAR. I don't think there's much gentleman's agreement anymore, but
no, not at all.
But I don't know. Don't know it. Oh well. What else we got?
Man, I think that's about it. There's a whole lot of racing this week, though.
There was a whole lot of racing. I know. Is it this weekend? Winchester 400? No, not Winchester. I'm sorry, not Winchester. The Nashville. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's
All American.
Yeah,
All American. It's coming up anyway. So our buddy. Was that put out there already? Better not say it. I don't know if it was put out already.
I don't know.
I don't remember. Never mind. Y'all can read between lines, but whatever.
Next.
Coming up next. Nah, that's all good. I don't think it's really secretive.
No.
But anyway, what else we got? About it?
That's about it, Bob.
Alrighty. Well,
It's a good one.
it's a good one. Had a couple good guys. Appreciate AJ Miller coming on, and appreciate our buddy Trent Ivey answering the phone.
Absolutely.
Surprise.
I have to do that to him more often.
Oh, that was good. But anyway, well, cool deal. All right, guys. Well, as always, like we say every week, we want to thank Earl Ramey Racing Engines for helping us out. SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, our buddy Randy Keene over there at RK Motorsports Consulting. Really want to thank him setting up our interview with AJ Miller there. So appreciate him a lot. I talked to him a little bit earlier today. He said, I got stuff to talk to you about. I'll call you Wednesday. I said, all right, sounds good.
There we go.
So we appreciate them guys for sure, helping us out, help us do this. Also, Forward Bite Apparel, everybody, Christmas time's coming.
There it is.
Christmas time's coming.
Hoodies, toboggans,
I want to say real quick,
koozies.
I remember what I did Friday night now.
Oh.
That reminded me. Christmas time's coming reminded me.
What did you do? Listen to Christmas music?
We went and ate over at Mom and Dad's house.
Okay.
Ate some chicken bog. After that, Hallmark countdown to Christmas started at 9 o'clock Friday night.
Really?
I went home and watched Hallmark Christmas movies. I love them.
Dang.
I'm that guy.
Well.
I've seen about every Hallmark Christmas movie. No, they got like 9 new ones coming out this year. I'm happy.
Oh, okay. It'd be the exact same thing, just different people.
No, same people.
Okay.
It's pretty much same people.
Like every Hallmark movie I've ever seen is the exact
It's
same.
all right because it's a Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer don't change. It's kind of the
Mm,
same deal.
Well, I don't watch it.
Watched one this past weekend called You, Me, and the Christmas Tree.
Okay. Sweet.
You should watch it. There's another one called Christmas in Conway. Came out a few years ago. You should watch it. Reason being, because I just saw Christmas in Conway, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it. I was homesick one day, actually. Turned it on, and they had a really southern accent. And Mandy Moore was in it, actually. And guy that was in the movie, they were talking. She was a home health, like a hospice type nurse. And he said, where are you from? She said, about an hour up the road in Florence. I said, oh, so this is based in Conway, South Carolina.
Sweet. Did you tell anything?
Yeah, because they went to Family Kingdom on there, and
sweet.
And it went down to Mount Pleasant, I think it was.
Cool.
Yeah, you have to check that one.
You never know what you see. I know that the Army Wives was filmed down in Charleston because I was down there working, and they were in the Navy shipyard filming. So I know that.
You go get up in there. Hey,
I didn't know. They had it all sectioned off, but they were there. The Star Wagons were all sitting out there. And stuff. Yeah. So I don't think it was Christmas oriented. Related. There you go.
There you go.
But it was probably. I guess that's Hallmark. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Clue.
Anyway,
I think Lifetime, which is related to Hallmark.
Sounds just like it.
But anyway, so how we got on this conversation? Christmas. It is time to get you some apparel from Forward Bite.
Yep.
Go check them out. Time for to break out the hoodies and the beanies and the toboggans and the thick warm socks and the all that good jazz long sleeve shirts, all that fun stuff that you can get all at Forward Bite Apparel. Y'all go check them out for sure.
Faux show.
Cole Train, he had a race this past weekend. Didn't have too good of results, but his first race out in a while. So them boys got some. We'll be talking with them soon. They got some cool announcements for next year.
Sweet.
So y'all go check that out. Also, Checkered, the race hub. Y'all go check it out. All racing all the time on Checkered is social media for racing. That's it. Racing. It's all. Nothing else. Racing. All kind of racing, but all racing.
Yeah. Snowmobile racing.
Yeah. Maybe
all more racing.
Maybe AJ can get on that.
He probably will. Look for him. He'll be on there.
Also, guys, go check out Speed 51 and get all the stuff coming up on it. I saw an announcement today. Snowball Derby this year will be presented by Hooters.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Cool deal.
Chase probably down and running.
He probably will. He'll have a Hooters car.
Probably so. But anyway, guys, hope y'all have a good week. And
yes, sir.
And I reckon we'll be talking with y'all next week.
Later.